Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Built in America. I'm your host, Jeff Vreeland. As you know, this show is about men and women who are actually building businesses in America today, not just chasing profits, but trying to do it with conviction, integrity, and responsibility. Each episode, I'm sitting down with founders, operators, and leaders who believe business is more than transactions. It's influence, it's stewardship, and it's one of the most powerful ways values show up in real life. We're here to talk about the marketplace, what's changing, what's working, what it really takes to serve customers who care about what they buy and who they buy it from. These are honest conversations with people doing the work, learning in real time how to build, how to lead, and how to grow in a super complicated world. And today I am super excited to have Ron Kern, who's the co-owner of Back 40 Farms. His work sits right in the intersection of building a business and staying grounded in his values. Ron, thanks so much for being here. Can you tell me a little bit about Back 40 Farms?
Sure. Thank you for having me. And we're on 42 acres in Idaho. We seem like we're out in the middle of nowhere, but we're 4 miles from the freeway. It's full of eagles and hawks and gorgeous scenery. We're surrounded by a creek on three sides of our farm. So it's kind of like heaven on earth. And we grow and raise our own meat and pork and veggies and fruits and all of that. We freeze dry a ton of it and sell it across the country. But we find it a very peaceful, joyous existence here on the farm.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. I do think people think sometimes Idaho is in the middle of nowhere. They may be right about that, but glad
Well,
you're.
they used to, but everybody's moving here.
That's true. That's
So,
good. Well, thanks
yeah.
for being here. Let's jump into our questions. Our first question is, how does your business help people live out their values when they spend their money?
Well, I think we make it pretty simple for people to do that because they align their spending with what they believe matters most. And when somebody purchases from us, they're supporting real food that is raised the right way from an actual, real, organically raised farm. And they choose transparency over mystery, like what's in this food, what's not in this food. They get quality over convenience and stewardship over the many shortcuts that's currently out in our grocery stores. And every purchase is a vote for how we feel food should be grown, and equally important is how animals should be treated. And we give people a way to put their values into actions and not just actually talk about it.
That's great. That's great. Question two, what does building and growing your business in America mean to you personally?
It means freedom, responsibility, and obviously legacy. And this country gives everybody the opportunity to build something from the ground up, and I take that seriously. I'm a serial entrepreneur by heart. This is about as opposite of what I used to be in corporate America and owned all the previous businesses. But for me, it's about honoring that opportunity by producing something that is tangible, honest, and valuable. And that's our food. It's also about creating something that my wife and family can be proud of, and something that is serving others. And building a business is not just about income, it's about hopefully contributing to a system that rewards hard work, integrity, and faith in what we're trying to do here.
Very well said. I love it. I love it. All right. Question three, how have you seen your customers change in the last few years or maybe even the last few months, especially those that are conservative or faith-minded customers?
Yeah, I think nowadays people are more intentional
Mm-hmm.
than they used to be. They're certainly asking far better questions about where their food comes from, what's in it, how is it produced, and I think people are being more selective on who they want to support with their money. Now that's a clear shift toward wanting alignment between beliefs and making a purchase. A lot of our customers are pretty tired of supporting companies that don't reflect their own values. They want connection, they want trust, they want something real. And that shift has been really powerful and is one of the many reasons we continue to do what we do. And I can't tell you how many times people are flabbergasted that I'll get an email or a text, and I'll call them back, like use the phone for what it's supposed to do, be useful, right? And they just are in awe of just a simple phone conversation. And we'll talk for 5 minutes or we'll talk for an hour. They're busy, I'm busy, but if you can talk to the source where your food is coming from, it brings all of those unquestionable things that people might have when they're buying food. It kind of removes that from the equation, and it's something that I really actually enjoy. And so that's what I think is happening as far as that goes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right. Question 4. What values guide the way you lead your team and serve your customers?
Integrity, number
Mm,
one. If we say something, it is what it is. We stand behind it. We're very big into stewardship. We take care of our land, the animals, and the people that we have the blessing to serve. Faith plays a role in how we operate, even though sometimes we may not even speak it aloud. We also believe in doing things the right way, which I get why people don't always, because sometimes it's harder and maybe it costs a little more. But we want to do it the right way. And
absolutely.
yeah, and finally, probably service. um, our customers, we're not open to the general public. You have to become a member to see our store and to become part of our Back 40 Farms family, which is the email you get after you sign up. It doesn't cost anything. It's just your name and email address, but they're they're not transactions to us. They're families, all over the country and locally too, that are trusting us to provide something very important, and that's food and healthy food. And that responsibility really shapes almost every decision we make. And we've really enjoy our community of customers. And when we went to a private membership association, we were a little concerned that it's another step and you have to become a member even though it's free. We thought that might uh, cause a decrease or a lack of interest in our business. And what we found in doing that is that it's just grown exponentially. So we feel that God led us to that. And so obviously the numbers reflect that. But people are people. Everybody has a story, and we like to have connection as much as they do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. My favorite one. What's one piece of advice you'd give to other business owners trying to reach values driven Americans?
And this goes back to all the other businesses that we've done, is but basically being real and consistent. Um, People can tell you, or they can tell when you are trying to pull the wool over their eyes, or if it's forced, or are you just doing this because it's good marketing. If you truly stand for something, and you show it in how you operate every day and what the products that you provide or the service that you provide, and it matches with what's online, then that makes sense to people. And we focus on building trust over time. We get that some people may not understand how a farm works, and we're here to help them be educated. But we also are very transparent and honest, and you have to be able to deliver on your promises. And here's the biggest thing, one of the biggest things is you don't have to appeal to everybody. Not everybody is interested in clean, organic, healthy food with nutrition. And that's everybody's choice. But if you clearly stand for something meaningful, I've found in the 35 years of owning companies is the right people will find you and stay with you. And that's true because we've been doing this farm for about 7.5 years, and I can count on zero fingers how many dollars I've spent on marketing. Um, I don't, I try to put out good quality videos of our plants or our animals and things like that on our YouTube channel and social media accounts, but just be real. Everybody wants to show the best of the best and standing in front of a yacht, or this is my beautiful 42 acres, and try to make it, I don't know. I lost my ego some time ago. I had one. But just being out in nature and eating what we grow and produce and being able to share that with others is truly, um, it's a blessing for us, and it's just an amazing experience that we just continue to do daily.
Yeah. It's being authentic. It's being authentic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ron, thanks so much for being here today, guys. That's a wrap on our show. I hope today's conversation encouraged you, reminded you that building a business in this country is about more than profits. As Ron just said, it's about values, it's about people, it's about long-term impact. But if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you check out our other weekly Liberty Spenders podcast. You can find it right here on YouTube. We go deeper into how Americans are choosing to live out their values and where and how they spend their money. If you're a business owner, a leader, or a brand that would like to better understand how to serve value-driven Americans, check us out at libertyspenders.com. You can book a meeting with myself or anybody on the team. We'd love to sit down and talk with you. And last, if you would like to be on the show, or maybe you know someone that would be a good guest on this show, head over to Built in America podcast to learn more and apply. But thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for supporting American-built businesses, and we'll see you next time on Built in America.